Wrong.
Hello, so we continue our series of programs about social work in America, and our today's guest is Glenda Testone. Glenda is the first female executive director of the LGBT Center in New York, which is the second largest center in the world. Glenda has joined this place in 2009, and since then this place has extensively extended its services for LGBT adults, youth and families. In 2013, the center celebrated its 30th anniversary and recently completed its $9.2 million capital building renovation. Hello, Glenda.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Welcome, thank you for seeing us today.
Of course.
Glenda, in countries like mine, and I come from Kazakhstan, social work as a profession is not quite recognized. And you lead an organization that actually mainly staffed by social workers. Why do you think it's so important to have trained social workers in the country?
Well, social workers are really a huge part of the fabric of the safety net of this country. So for folks that are having a challenging time, either personally or in their families, economically, socially, the profession of social work and social workers in the US are tremendously helpful in making sure people know how to access systems and benefits and resources and really get their needs met. I personally have a very soft spot in my heart for social workers because my mom is a trained social worker. She went back to school after having my sister and I and got her master's in social work. And she spent 30 years actually of her career at an African American community center in upstate New York. So she really taught me the value of the social work profession, and she did a lot of work with communities of color in the US, with domestic violence, victims of domestic violence, really working on those issues. And then my partner, actually, Jama, is also a trained social worker. So
you have many social workers.
I have many social workers in my life, and they're some of the best people I know. So in addition to, I'm not just saying that because it's my mom and my girlfriend, but I really do think that the social work profession is one of those special callings where people do this work because they want to help individuals and they want to make broad change. They want to change the world
on a broader scale.
On a broader scale, and to be able to balance those two things and really help people while at the same time trying to make things better for everybody. To me, that's sort of what social workers do.
Right.
And I
it's a
think
combination.
It's a combination, and it's so critical to really look at both of those things. And I think social workers have a unique perspective on that.
Right, thank you. So as I mentioned before, the center has been here for 30 years. It offers extensive number of programs. It has an amazing website. It organizes various events, and it serves almost 6,000 people a week.
Yes,
if I'm not wrong. What's the reason for such a success for a social organization, so a community organization, in your opinion?
Well, I think there's a tremendous need. Even serving 6,000 people a week, that is not every LGBT person in New York City. There are probably about between 500 and 600,000 lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender New Yorkers. And so we're still only serving and meeting a fraction of the needs of those folks. So I think the success of the center really comes from the fact that people want a place to come and feel safe, to be able to express who they are, to be able to get the support they need to live a great life. People want to connect with their community. They want to understand LGBT history and what's going on today. We just have such a wide variety of people that come to visit the center for just such an array of reasons. To see incredible art, to start a family, to come out, to get a job, to meet someone, to just have a good time, go to a dance. I mean, the reasons for folks coming here are really as varied as the people themselves in our community. And so I think the fact that we offer something for so many people is what keeps people coming here and keeps them coming back.
Right. My next question is actually related to something that I mentioned before. Recently, the center has completed its renovation for $9.2 million. It's been offering lots of programs. All this needs to be financed. Staff needs to be paid. where are the main sources of income come from?
Sure.
Or not income, but funds.
Yeah, well, we get funding from a bunch of different sources. So about a quarter of our funding comes from government sources. So the government pays us essentially to deliver services to folks in our community that really need it. We also get foundation funding, individual funding, events, memberships. We also charge for things like the use of our computers or to rent a room at the center. And then we have a substance abuse treatment program, which is a medically supervised program where we get reimbursed from Medicaid and third-party insurance. So that's another source of funding. We really fund ourselves in a wide variety of ways, which helps create some sustainability. So if a donor, for example, changes their mind and wants to fund something else, we have 250 other donors who also support the center. So a really broad range of different funding sources for the work that we do.
Right. And I guess my final question would be, I know that Center does a lot of work in regards to advocacy. Just maybe shortly, one of examples that you can give that the center has played in the big role, and influences social policy.
Sure, I'm really proud of the fact that the advocacy that we do comes directly from hearing from people in the community talking about what they need and saying, this is working for me and this is not working for me, it needs to change. So one example, and there are many over the years, we were born out of the AIDS crisis in the 1980s when really folks were fighting for their lives. And now we're in a situation where just this past year, the city council passed a law essentially saying that transgender folks can change the gender on their birth certificate, which is something we've been fighting for a long time, and something we're really proud of because now it allows transgender folks to really have the gender that they are reflected accurately on their birth certificate. And so it actually helps with getting a job and getting health insurance and all of these things and living their daily lives. So we're really proud we can be able to help make that happen.
I work with transgender people and I know how important it is for them to match their documents with who they are.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and thank you for the work that you do. You're a social worker, and we so appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.